All right, welcome back, everybody. Jake Brandon here from Coug Connect. Just wanted to make a real quick video talking about a few things that I found interesting. Some post-tweet games after the BYU East Carolina game. I got a little bit of clarity on that. I'll talk a little bit about why I think some of those tweets are about things that happened in the game and why I think they're not. And then I'll give you, in my latest report, I'll give you all the details, kind of the definitive answer I got from talking to some people around the program. But real quick, I want to jump in and just say what a crazy season so far. Mike Gundy out today from Oklahoma State. 21 years there as coach. A lot of great moments and memories. Hilarious, almost like a Mike Leach type light version, of that, like the diet version of Mike Leach there, moments throughout that 21-year career. Talked with Justin Kirkland in my interview I did with him on our channel earlier. He loves the guy, raves about the guy, says he's the man, but all good things must come to an end, so he's out there. But also, in my report, I'm going to put a full breakdown of BYU versus Utah, the metrics created for this moment in time, where BYU is at this moment in the season, where Utah is this moment of the season. Both teams will more than likely go on to get better as they install more, they clean up more, they fix more things. But right now, if they were to play this Saturday, what do the statistics and the analytics tell us? I'll tell you this. It's very similar to another kind of well-known score in the rivalry, and it's interesting in that respect, right? Maybe there's some certain scores that stick together. But shout out to Steven M4 Gigabit or M4Gbit on Twitter, and obviously a major contributor to our Discord in a lot of ways. It runs tons of analytics for us. He and Plus, they're both awesome. They put this out there, but he broke it out all down. I mean, he's looking at lots and lots of info, dozens and dozens of pieces of information, from Eccles rates to rankings and production and all kinds of stuff. They do great work there. Also, he broke down BYU versus Texas Tech, where at this moment in time, Texas Tech seems to be the team to beat, right? Early in the season, we just finished the first quarter of college football. 3 more quarters to go. Lots of things can change. Nothing is definitive. Nothing is over yet. But at this moment in time, Texas Tech appears to be the team to beat. I still personally, I really like Iowa State. They have a different kind of brand of football, not always the most flashy brand of football. Of course, I like BYU. I think we have the best defense in the Big 12, one of the best defenses in the country. And I think the offenses continue to grow and evolve. I think they've managed Bear Bachmeier very well, giving him more and more and more. If you're a Coug Connect subscriber, you're in the Discord, you're reading the reports, you're listening to the players' breakdowns, the players' interviews, we just got a little glimpse of what he can do. He's been doing great things against the first team defense in practice, going all the way back to when he was competing in fall for the position there. So if you're privy to all that content, you know that we've only seen a glimpse of what he's capable of. I think we can continue to unleash him more and more as the season rolls out, and we need to. We've managed him very well. Props to A-Rod. A lot of people, no matter who the OC is at BYU, that's kind of like the thing to do, I guess, is to hate on the OC. I'm not one of those people. I think he's done a masterful job with Zach Wilson, to Jaron Hall, even Keaton and Jake Retzloff. I thought he did a lot of great things with them, and now we're seeing him kind of take this true freshman with limited experience and roll him out in phases there. But this BYU team is really good. Defense is proven. Offense continues to get better. I still think Carson Ryan has a lot more to show us. I think Chase Roberts, Parker Kingston can all show us a lot more. I think Cody Higgins just getting started. And now Tay Nakua, he traveled. He's listed in the 2 deep. He's a Nakua. I'm really excited to see what he can do. I've heard great things from the defensive backs who have to cover him in practice, that he can jump up several feet in the air and snag a ball that's kind of a throwaway ball. He can dive out, lay out for a ball, make a catch, and he can run, get behind press man. He's strong, physical upper body. He's quick. He gets out of releases, so that's exciting. So this offense will continue to get better. Obviously, LJ Sione has got to be one of the best running back duos in the country. O-line has done well. Other teams I like early on, first quarter of football's over. I think Arizona State's defense is a lot better than we thought. I thought they held Baylor to manageable scores. They're a team that you got to watch out for. Arizona and Kansas are interesting. Kansas has lots of offense and can beat anybody, as we learned last year, at any time with their big run at the end of the season. And Arizona's defense is actually pretty good. We looked at some analytics in there in the Coup Connect Discord today. And they're pretty good. They're pretty solid. And Noah Fafita seems to kind of be back where he left off, a year ago before this past season where they had some struggles. So there's a team to watch out for. And Utah. I don't want to write off Utah just yet. They have good coaches. They will clean things up on offense. I don't doubt they will give everybody they play a game. I think they're favored in the majority of the games left on their schedule. ASU and BYU, not that I spent a lot of time looking at their schedule, but those are probably their two biggest games on their schedule. I expect them to fully rebound and just kind of dominate West Virginia on the road. It's not an easy place to play, but I do expect them to kind of try and make a statement win and come back from there. So those are the kind of the teams I think are in the conversation. TCU, scary good on offense. Talked to someone who played against TCU yesterday, a quarterback who played against TCU yesterday already this season, and got a breakdown, and he thinks their defense has some exploitable aspects of it. He thinks it's a scheme and a defense that BYU's offense will have some answers for, right, when that time comes. Obviously, this quarterback played on a separate team. I'll mention some more specifics on that conversation in that insider report as well. So kind of want to give you guys that video. Let's talk about the sign stealing after the game. Harvey Unga tweeted out that it wasn't so easy to beat us when you can't steal signs. And a lot of us were wondering, does that mean from last time they beat us in Provo, or was that the first half of this game, or certain times throughout this game? And, there's some reasons why it could have been this game. In the first half, they ran that three-man front where they brought everybody inside, kind of took away the middle and slanted some different ways. And it seemed to, on third and short, they slanted the right way a few times. But then other things worked just fine where it didn't appear they were sign stealing. Also, another thing is, I'll have to go back and watch all the tape again if I can find time between work and travels. But I also think, we huddled. So with the coach to helmet encrypted system, you can't always steal signs then as well. And then why maybe they were sign stealing, I don't know. Go watch that first drive. We come out and score in the second half. I think we run 3 or 4 play actions in a row. 5 passes on that drive. 3 or 4 of them are play actions in a row. Defense heavily overcommitting on that. Maybe you show some signs and then tag it with some play action tags that are new. At the end, when I was at OC, sometimes we would straight up signal in a run play and then add a tag, a color tag, a code tag, and some wide receiver route tags on the end of that, so that everyone knew without calling a timeout, hey, we want to run this play, tag it this way so the O-linemen don't go downfield, tag it this way so the wide receivers know it's a play action and how to run their routes or their releases. And obviously for the quarterbacks, the running backs as well. So that could have been something that happened. I don't know. Maybe the reason they were over pursuing on those runs is because they were getting part of the sign stolen. Maybe it's just because they were being ultra aggressive and had, relative success stopping that run in the first half there. Who knows? A lot of things. But I did ultimately talk to someone in the program, got some definitive answer right. I will put that in the insider report I'm about to go sit down and write right now, as well as those matchups, BYU, Utah at this point in the season, BYU and Tech at this point in the season. And if you want any other matchups, you want to see how would BYU fare against Arizona State right now? How would BYU fare, which we don't play them except for the championship, but how would they fare against TCU currently? How would they fare against, Iowa State's on our schedule? How would they fare against them currently, or Arizona? You can always go into the Discord. Steven, he can whip up those projections pretty quick. And you guys, we can discuss it at length there. So if you want access to these reports, and to support the guys, it's really why we do all this stuff. Got a lot of football buddies I could talk football with. Love to do it with you guys because it's a great way to support the players. Go to coupconnect.com, become a subscriber, get the full content, the full insider reports, breakdowns from players, Q&As with players, stats and analysis by some of the members there in Discord. I think we've got some great recruiting coverage in there too. We had Brock Harris announce with us first this past year, #1 tight end of the country. We had, Terrence Sarion announce with us. Braxton Lindsay announced with us. All these big recruits, lots of them announced with us. So you get access to that early, firsthand, get chances to chat with them, all those things. So it's a great way to support the program. If you haven't ever done it, I really strongly encourage you, go to cougconnect.com and become a subscriber there. It starts out at $9.99 a month. That gets you access to almost everything. You get almost everything for, I don't even know what that would equate to, like cents a day, less than $1 a day, right? You get tons of access to insider stuff, and it all goes to support the players. We've got somewhere between 1,000 to 1,200 paying subscribers right now. We'd love to get that up significantly in the future, get more money for the players who work with us, who create content, and get more content for you guys as fans. So please go and do that. A free way to support us if, maybe you can't afford $9.99 a month. We got a lot of school teachers who do that. We got a lot of BYU students who do that, who find a way to make that work. But if you can't, you just want to support for free, subscribe to this channel, like our videos, comment, let the algorithm know we're creating good stuff. But yeah, lots of interesting things happening in college football right now. A little bit surprised by the Gundy news, but I mean, everyone's got to stay relevant, right? Everyone's got to be ready for the ever-evolving landscape of college football, and I understand it. Lots of great memories with Coach Gundy. Maybe I'd likely suspect it won't be the last coaching change that we see from the Big 12, and certainly not in college football this season, leading up to the end of this season. So lots of good stuff in store. Again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for support. Channel's growing like crazy. Subscriptions, on the website are growing like crazy. I think we got the best community out there. Appreciate you guys. Again, hit that like and subscribe. Share a comment down below, and go Cougs. That's all I got. Have a good one.